Around 2:31 p.m. this afternoon, we received a call. The caller stated he had been shot.
That caller was here at the office of 79-year-old financial consultant David Trail. By the time officers arrived, they found Trail and the man who called both shot.
The shooter came in and immediately started shooting.
One of the victims died at the hospital. The other was listed in critical condition this evening. While at the office, police received a call of another shooting at the Arby's on the Pullman Highway.
The shooter, when he came in, did ask for the manager, and the manager did come out, and that's when she was shot.
Investigators say the shooter, John Lee, used a handgun. He then took off in this black Honda. The Arby's manager was taken to the hospital where she died. Next, police in Pullman noticed Lee's car and attempted to pull him over. He refused, leading police on a lengthy chase through Whitman County, eventually crashing his car about 10 miles north of Colfax. Lee was taken to a hospital in Colfax and was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. He's currently at the Whitman County Jail.
Now, during all of that, they went to the home of the shooter's mother and found her dead there. There's no word for a motive at this point. Again, police say Lee knew but all of one of those victims, and in terms of those victims, we do have their names. Here they are. Again, the first victim was his adoptive mother, 61-year-old Terry Grabowski. The second, 76-year-old David Trail. And the third, the Arby's manager, 47-year-old Belinda Nyber. The fourth victim who didn't die is Michael Chin of Seattle. He was shot in his left leg and left arm. Again, he was last listed in critical condition this evening. Now, as for Lee's mother, she was a physician's assistant at Moscow Family Medicine. Neighbors tell me Terry Grabowski also played in some local bands. They say she was simply full of life and was very well liked. Neighbors say she leaves behind her husband, another adopted child, and a biological child. The second victim, David Trail, was a Moscow businessman. He worked as a financial consultant for Northwestern Mutual, his office just right near downtown Moscow. The third victim, Belinda Nyber, as we mentioned, was a veteran manager at this Arby's. A vice president for the company that owns that Arby's says her loss is a huge hit for their family.
I can just say we lost a manager and an employee of 7 years tonight, and that's where our hearts and minds are right now.
Again, it's not believed that the fourth victim who was shot and is still alive knew Lee. He just happened to be in David Trail's office when police say Lee came in and began shooting. Now, as for the investigation, police say it's going to take some time to process all these crime scenes. They're working on getting Lee extradited back to Moscow from Whitman County, Washington. And as for this Arby's that we're standing in front of, the man who you just heard from there says there's no timetable as to when they're going to reopen it. He says they're going to take all the time they need and make sure they're not going to reopen it until after they've had a ceremony for Nyber, the manager that was shot here.